So about like 15 years ago, somewhere around there. A lot of these stories are old, but made impacts in my life. Anyway, I was working at this plant, and like I say, like anywhere I go, I basically give 110%. That 10% is on me, that extra 10%. So, but anyway, after a while, you tend to stand out, for the right reasons. And like I guess I guess she was the supervisor of the area. She was a real hard nose, real strict. But I'm the kind of person that I like to know the rules so that I can stay within them. So you ain't got to tell me nothing. You see what I'm saying? Or at least very rare, very rare. You know. Inevitably with that though, if you stay in the rules and try to stay off the radar, some people, kind of like a bored cop, want to focus in on you so hard till it's like, I think cops are known for saying that if they follow anybody for a certain amount of time, they're going to do something illegal. So I feel like some people are like that, like, oh, goody two shoes thinks she's gonna stay in the rules. I bet I can find, pinpoint, a place where she's lacking, rather than focusing on the people with big gaping wounds. But anyway, I digress. I went. Oh well, she was like, I need more line leads. you know. And I was like, I really don't like being in charge of people because I don't like enforcing. I don't like making a person do their job. That's what I don't like. I was like, and rather keep my looks and sanity and just do my part, and pitch in, where necessary, then, I have to lord over someone. Come on, let's go to the office. Why aren't you doing this? How come that? No. See, like even here, and to live in a constant state of that, I just never preferred it, okay? All right. But nonetheless, she was like, come on, like it's a 2-week class. Now, to be a QA was a 1-week class. I said, tell you what, I'll be a QA for you. And she was like, QA is okay, but she was like, if you do the the line lead or whatever, but, the position where, you'd be in charge of people, if you, do that, the 2 weeks of that, well, they called it supervisor, but anyway, the supervisor training, even though she was the supervisor of the area. Anyway, she's like, if you complete the supervisor training for 2 weeks, like, if something happens, you don't like it down the line, you can step down to a QA position. But if you do the QA training, you can't, just step up, to the lead position. So I was like, I'll mull it around. I was like, ask some other candidates because, I'm not excited. And then, time, maybe about a week or so went on and she was like, Reed, you going to do it for me? And I really wanted to I can't even think of her name right now, but I really wanted to do it for her at that time. So I went ahead and did it. Took the 2-week course. Okay. Came a line lead. About 2 weeks in, they tell me to like use a product. I'm just going to make up a number, 199A. That's what the paperwork says. I got this hand over here like y'all can see it. Okay, 199A. But I got the 199, but I don't see an A. So I'm like, okay, they brought me all this product, but ain't no A. The numbers are matching, but there's no A. So, I'll summon the manager of the area over. I'm like, ma'am, this doesn't have an A. Everything's right, but that A is missing. And I was like, and I just did training. They were like, take nothing for granted. If you got something that's 199A, you need that A. Like, don't just start running it, make sure it has the A because it, more than likely isn't the same product. So anyway, see, double chin all out. Dang, man, I only weigh like 150. Sheesh. But, fat hang out where it want to hang out. So, but anyway, she was like, Reed, her and, her little underling, they standing side by side. Reed, just run it. So we run it. We're about half a pallet high. When they both come marching up to me kind of militantly, was like, Reed, this is not the right product. Why are you running the wrong product? So looking off to the right, like, are y'all not the same people that just came to me about, 90 minutes ago, insisting that I run this product after you're saying words to me that I just said to you about an hour ago? But I gotta look off because, you can't just, come at your superiors any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have some type of tact with it. So I look off to throw out, the hood answer or whatever, So I look back and I'm like, with all due respect, I said there was a letter missing and y'all insisted that I run it. I was like, so even though the paperwork didn't exactly match, your authority overrode what was written. And then they kind of looked at each other like, it looked like, as to say, like, she's going to get us in trouble. And they kind of stormed off. But it was in that moment that I realized they wanted me to come up with a response that would save them. You see. So somebody had to get thrown under the bus here. So they needed me to come up with a response like to save us all. Now, I didn't recognize it as I was speaking. But when they left flustered, I realized that. So now, I'm searching my brain, trying to see like there's an A or whatever, And then I came up with, where there, which is accurate. But I was like, there was, previous material that had the A. And when the new material came, I didn't verify it thoroughly. So I went ahead, and took the L, threw myself under the bus. But, some wiggle room, like it was right at first, but now it's not. So when they came back, they, were kind of pleased. Were like, yes, girl, throw yourself under the bus, what have you. Okay. But about a week later, I went ahead and stepped back down. I stepped down to a QA position. Because I was like, see, and that's another thing. I don't want to have to eat crow, if I ain't cook it up. You heard me? And then, but the silver lining was they were like, oh, we got to undo all this. It took us, X amount of time. And the way the stuff was set up, let's just, like we're packaging items or whatever. The way it's set up, you could only like load, you have to load like, 80 at a time or whatever it is, a specific number. We'll just say 80, at a time in this case, because, I forgot the intricate details. So what I suggested was, because they were like, somebody's going to have to keep count on each one and all that. I was like, no, let's count out, the cartons first. Let's count out the 80. And I was like, and then we'll just say on 82 in case anything messes up. But on 82, I was like, on 81, we'll say, stop. And on 82, we'll say stop. So, 82, stop. 81, stop. And I was like, and as the pallet starts getting, halfway filled up or, closer to the point that it was before we had to take it down and repackage it, I was like, basically like the last 10 boxes, I was like, put someone up there so they can keep their eye on the cartons, the paperwork or whatever it is. And, we sacrifice 2 of them to say stop. Like I said, every now and then something gets ripped up or whatever. So, and everybody was like, yay! I'm like, dang, you're so smart. It was nice. It was a good feeling, I basically made something that was going to be cumbersome, a little bit difficult or whatever, just, go through like that. All right, anyway, I don't know if I told this story right. It's probably boring, but bye-bye.